welcome back to Jake's Sports World. It's so good to have you guys back. As we know, the NFL draft is coming up, and I can't wait to get into some things with you guys today as we all head into another crazy week of the NFL. We've got a couple points to hit on. The draft, like I said, is coming up, so we're going to hit on some points from the draft and some NFL breaking news and rumors. Tell me, guys, what you think about the video in the comments below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and turn on the bell notification. If you guys have any questions, you have full range to contact me on my Instagram that I'll put right there. Go ahead and contact me on my Instagram, or leave me a comment below. I will respond to it as quick as possible. Thank you guys for coming to another video, and let's get into some NFL breaking news and rumors. Guys, so as has been clear, the NFL draft is coming to Las Vegas. Tell me who you think is going #1 overall on Thursday night from Las Vegas, Nevada. As let's get into some heartbreaking news, and it's heartbreaking to me, maybe not to other people because they could be fans of other teams, but I want to kind of hit on this topic real quick. The San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has requested a trade out of the organization, out of San Francisco. He does not want to be in the 49ers anymore. He's just done with the team. He's done with the organization. He's done with all of it. Why is this? Per Ian Rappaport, it's not about the money. It's the way he's being utilized. He does not like the way he's being worked in the offense. He does not like playing wide receiver, running back, and kick returner all at the same time. He doesn't like that. And, you know, Samuel's such a versatile player, and that's what made him so dangerous next year. And, of course, if he does not play all those positions next year, he's not going to be as dangerous as he was this year. That's why he's so high up there why he was up there in the top 100 players. Why he was in the talks for, at least in my talks, for Offensive Player of the Year. He by far shattered, best offensive player for the 49ers last year. And it's because he is such a versatile player, and you don't run into people like him. And it sucks that he wants to be away from this organization now. But like I said, Ian Rappaport says it's not about the money. So let's get into this a little bit more. Contract negotiations with the star wide receiver hit a roadblock as Samuel stated, "I don't want a contract offer. I want to be traded." Oh, man. 49ers GM John Lynch insists the team and the media Samuel will be a 49er next season. He's staying with the team, but how true can that be? He's staying with the team, but how true can that be? And that is really, that should be set in stone. He is staying with the team, is what John Lynch says, but how true can that be? And that is just the truth. That is just a solid and upsetting but sad, and that's the truth. How true can that be? That it's not something that it should be hit on a lot, but the 49ers are a team that don't make splashes when it comes to signing players, trading for players. They're just not that kind of team. And if they were to trade Samuel, it probably would be the craziest thing to happen in 49er history since probably the drafting of Nick Bosa, or honestly, probably trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's just a solid truth. And, saying that the 49ers are that kind of team, it makes me think, oh, they're going to hold on for Samuel. They're going to hold on to Samuel this year, see how things play out, and then trade him next year. Or hold on to him, maybe he'll change his mind. Or hold on to him, make a little room, and give him the money he wants. But that's not the case now, because as Ian Rappaport said, like I said earlier, it's not about the money. And that's upsetting. That's really upsetting, because if the 49ers were to pay Deebo Samuel, they would have already paid Samuel. Samuel doesn't want to get paid by the 49ers. He does not want to be a 49er. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the social media for the 49ers. He has wiped the 49ers off of his Instagram page, every picture, every photo, every post that involves him with the 49ers. He has unfollowed the 49ers at any 49ers social media. He's staying quiet about this entire situation. He does not want to be a 49er. He doesn't want to talk about the 49ers. He doesn't even want to talk almost about the league anymore. He is just being himself right now. Of course, he's not showing up to voluntary training camp. That's pretty obvious, as he was in Miami with a couple of rappers the other week. But it's just the solid truth. GM John Lynch says he's staying with the team, but how true can that be? And that's just a solid truth. How true can that be? With the NFL draft happening later this week, it would only make sense for a Samuel trade to happen this week, as the 49ers would want some draft capital back for him. One trade idea could lead with the New York Jets. As reports come in, the Jets are willing to give up the number 10 pick for Samuel, as the Jets hold pick number 4 and pick number 10 in this week's draft. As 49ers fans desire top draft picks, the 49ers are going to take the smarter way. If they're going to actually trade Deebo Samuel, they're going to take the smarter way. And I can almost, I'm pretty 99% sure, if the 49ers are not to trade Samuel this week, during the draft, before the draft, they're 99%, I'm 99% sure they're not going to trade him after the draft. And because they would want some draft capital out of him, they would want probably a player with him, and I don't think teams, especially the New York Jets, said they've talked to the 49ers, they've talked to Kyle Shanahan about a possible Deebo Samuel trade. The 49ers are open ears right now to a couple of teams, including the Jets, but they said that the 49ers would want a king's ransom back for Deebo Samuel. And the Jets said if the opportunity presents itself correctly and right, we're going to make a hard push for Deebo. And look at it this way. The Jets lost out on Tyreek Hill. They gave the Chiefs a good offer. Tyreek Hill said, nah, I don't want to go to the Jets. I want to be a Dolphin. And he went to the Miami Dolphins. So the Jets lost out on Tyreek Hill. They don't want to lose out on Deebo Samuel too, when they have the option to, with some top draft picks and some players that they could possibly give up to the 49ers for Deebo Samuel. And that's why the Jets are obviously the front runners for a trade for Deebo Samuel. They'd be the front runners in that category. And that's exactly why. So, honestly, could we see a Deebo Samuel trade this week, or do you think the 49ers will hold on to him until next offseason? Tell me what you think. I think I hit this on a little earlier. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Let me repeat myself real quick. If the 49ers were not to trade Deebo Samuel, and Samuel were to sit out this next upcoming season, the 2022 to 2023 NFL season, if he were to sit out because he's on his rookie contract, he would this year would not count for him on his rookie contract, as he's coming up on his final year as a rookie since he was drafted in the second round. He's coming up on his final year of his NFL rookie deal, and if he were to sit out this year because it's on his rookie deal, he would not this year would not count for him, which means he would have an additional year with the 49ers to stay on contract. But of course, like you said, we could see him sit out this year and possibly extra years if the 49ers are not willing to trade him and don't want to trade him. But if I know how the 49ers can be. They can be tough in the beginning, but they could also be saying they don't want to trade Samuel, with GM John Lynch saying that he's staying with the team until further notice. They could be saying that because they want draft. What they're doing is very smart. And a lot of people won't see this as I do, but he's being very smart about this situation, as GM John Lynch knows that, and Kyle Shanahan know, that the more they talk about not wanting to trade him, the more the teams are going to give up for him. Because if they're like, yeah, we're going to trade him because he's making a big fuss about this whole situation, let's just get him off our hands. The teams are not going to offer big deals because they can get him for a cheaper price. What if I am right, as this is kind of a source coming from my dad, as, he's not, a crazy credible source, but because he's my dad and he's not, an NFL insider or anybody. But he said that could be something the 49ers are doing. Another thing, like I said, if I did not hit on this earlier, I'm sorry, but I'm going to repeat myself if I did, just so you guys know. I've been kind of studying on this topic a little bit more, and from Chase Sr. from Chat Sports, from the 49ers Report, you should go check him out. I'll leave that channel down in the comments below, or in the description below. He said that the 49ers, or Deebo Samuel, could be doing a situation that his agent is asking him to do, in which where his agent is saying, hey, if you want to get paid like a wide receiver, you've got to say you want to be a wide receiver. Because as the 49ers right now are going to try to make him being paid like almost like a running back, but not exactly a running back, but he's leaning towards that side because he's not a solid wide receiver. So, and Deebo Samuel, along with A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, all of them, they're looking at these people right now that are getting paid. Devontae Adams getting paid by the Raiders. Tyreek Hill getting paid by the Dolphins. DJ Moore getting paid by the Panthers. I mean, and you look at Stephon Diggs getting paid by the Bills. They're looking at all these wide receivers getting paid by these teams, and for Deebo Samuel, especially in his situation, he could be like, hey, if, Tyreek Hill's gonna get a loadsome amount, and, Devontae Adams is gonna get a loadsome amount, I'm doing it almost as much as them, but I'm doing even more on the ground. But if I'm gonna try to get paid as a wide receiver, I gotta be a solid wide receiver. So his agent could be talking to him in his ear and being like, hey, if you want to get paid like a wide receiver, tell people in the media and Kyle Shanahan and GM John Lynch that you want to be a solid wide receiver. You don't like the way you're being used, and you see how all these other solid wide receivers are getting paid, ask them to pay you like a solid wide receiver, and that could raise up the amount that they're offering you. And as much as I want to believe that, it could also not be true, because I would feel like the 49ers would want to offer him more if he wants to play wide receiver and running back. But he says his physical stature, so basically meaning his body, he doesn't want to be tackled as much. He doesn't want to get hurt as much, so he wants to be just a solid wide receiver. He does not like the way he's being utilized as a kick returner or as a runner. He just wants to be a solid wide receiver and get paid like a solid wide receiver. So thank you, Chase Sr., for that. That's some solid evidence, not going to lie. I 100% agree with you that could be something that's happening with Deebo Samuel, and that's one of the reasons why Samuel is wanting to get traded. Or because the 49ers are not going to want to offer him a high deal like $25-26 million, because he would not be playing all of those positions. So now he wants to get traded to a team that he knows he's going to be able to get that money out of. So I could see that as well. But tell me what you think. Tell me, do you think Deebo Samuel is going to be traded this week? Do you think the 49ers hold on to him until next year? Do you think, something could happen in the situation where the 49ers somehow reach an agreement with Deebo Samuel and somehow make a deal with him and he's staying with the team? Tell me what you guys think in the comments below about that situation as we go on to our next. This is not a situation, but I want to kind of go off. Here's some rumors and something that I want to ask you guys. Who goes first on Thursday, the first night of the NFL draft? Who goes first? Ahmed Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley Jr.? Who goes first on Thursday? Both DBs are expected to go in the top 15, but that may not happen. If teams start to trade up for wide receivers or even trade up for quarterbacks, we could maybe see both of them drop out of the top 10, maybe even top 15, as I don't believe that's going to happen whatsoever. That could be a situation if teams want to trade up for wide receivers like Drake London, maybe even Tyquan Thornton, which I don't think that's even I think he's going if later second round Tyquan Thornton. But Drake London, Jamison Williams, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, you could see teams trading up for those receivers, and that's definitely something to look out for coming up to this NFL draft. But there's also a lot of good corners. You've got Sauce Gardner, you've got Derek Stingley, you've got Booth Jr., and you've got a lot of these defensive backs or cornerbacks and even wide receivers have made a profile for themselves, making themselves famous. But I feel like Sauce Gardner has made himself famous enough to be the top corner taken off the board. So he has showed up in college. He showed up during the combine, and so it would make sense if he'd be the first off the board. So, and I'll show you later on my NFL mock draft and kind of see where I put both Ahmad Gardner and Derek Stingley Jr. and kind of see how and why I think Sauce Gardner is going to go before Derek Stingley Jr. and why I think he's going to be the top corner taken off the board. But yeah, I'll show you my first round mock draft just a little bit later in this video. Let's hit on some other NFL news, NFL rumors, actually. This would be possible Darren Waller trade. I know that's going to come to a surprise to a lot of you. Raiders star tight end Darren Waller could be on the move this offseason as the Green Bay Packers are trying to make moves to acquire the star tight end. You're probably thinking to yourself, if the Packers wanted Waller, why wouldn't they try to get him in the Davante Adams trade? The answer to that question is they couldn't. And I'm gonna tell you about this really quickly. But Darren Waller is one of those players that you just don't run into almost at all. He's almost like a Deebo Samuel's stature. Now, yes, he's getting up there in age, 29, 30 years old. He's getting up there in his ages, so we could see something happening there within the next, year or two. But you also know that Derek Carr is going to want him there. Davante Adams is going to want him there. And you know that the Packers are hurting at the wide receiver spot. Robert Tonyan is not the craziest tight end, but, I mean, I guess they could do with him. And you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, yeah, maybe the Packers go out and, try to acquire him. And clearly, right now, it's now a rumor around the NFL that could be happening later this week, maybe even during draft day. It could happen, it could be happening right now, and I just don't know. You just don't know anymore. And the way this NFL offseason has gone so far, we know that anything is possible, and that's just the truth. So, let me tell you about why they couldn't acquire Darren Waller in the Davante Adams trade. The Packers tried to acquire Darren Waller in the Adams trade, but the league denied the trade. Because in the NFL trade rules, one of the rules is you cannot trade a player that is under a franchise tag, in this case would be Davante Adams, in the same trade with a player not under a franchise tag, in which in this case would be Darren Waller. They would have done that deal, but they just simply couldn't, and that's because of all the NFL rules and all of that, and the league denied it because of that reason. Now the Packers are trying to acquire Darren Waller in a different trade now, but there is no indication that the Las Vegas Raiders are picking up the phone to them. Do you think the Packers will make a big move for Darren Waller? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I think personally that he's going to be staying with the team. Yes, he's getting up there in age. This could be his last year. But I think it's more of a possibility that he gets traded within next year. He could get traded before the trade deadline. And clearly, if the Packers are willing to give up a first-round draft pick for Darren Waller, if I'm the Raiders, I take that any day. Because, yes, Darren Waller is one kind of tight end. He plays like a wide receiver, but he's such a sturdy wide receiver, but he's a tight end, and he can block for you, and you see him line up you could see him line up on the outside and he'd be perfectly fine. Lining up on the inside, lining up a tight end, lining up almost at like an offensive lineman side. He is such a versatile tight end, and that's what makes him so dangerous. And that's why I think the Packers want him. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Darren Waller could be on the move this offseason? Do you think the Packers try to acquire him? Or do you think the Raiders hold on to him until next offseason? Tell me what you think. Let's hit on to some new NFL news. The NFL has announced that they will be announcing the 2022 to 2023 NFL schedule presented by AWS on May 12th. And on May 15th, I'll be announcing my way too early NFL predictions. I cannot wait until the new season. That's, I was waiting, and I knew it was going to be sometime after the draft, but I didn't realize it was going to be expecting this early. I thought maybe probably mid-June that they were going to be announcing the schedule, but, it's right after the draft they're announcing it. So I'm so excited for that. And, yeah, I think that this new league year is going to be crazy. And, I mean, it's clear that it's going to be crazy. But, yeah, on the 15th of May, make sure you set your clocks for that. On May 15th, I'll be uploading my way too early NFL predictions and, see where I put the teams. Of course, that will more than likely trade within the next, couple of weeks. That'll more than likely change my, things will change my mind over the course of the extra 2-3 months until the NFL season. And then I'll be going week by week, predicting all the games and seeing, maybe I'll do a live stream for one of the games, and kind of just see how things work out in this new league year. Let's talk about this. The NFL London games will be announced on May 4th, 2022. As of right now, we know that the Packers, Jaguars, and Saints will be playing in London next year. Mexico is also expected to have some NFL games, and as of right now, the only team announced that is playing in Mexico next season is the San Francisco 49ers, which I think that's great that the 49ers will be playing in Mexico, but it's also a new atmosphere for some players. And if Trey Lance is to start next year for the 49ers, I could see possibly that could be a different atmosphere that could lead us to a loss in Mexico, but that could also, raise his expectations a little higher, making his confidence go up, which I think could lead us to a win in Mexico. But the question is, who are we going to face in Mexico? And I'm hoping that we play in London too, because that'd be just, a crazy primetime game. And, yeah, like I said, the 49ers are the 49ers are a team that I could see honestly playing anywhere. But I'm hoping that the new league year has a bunch of, we already know that the 49ers play some crazy team. They play the AFC West next year. I cannot wait. That is one of the most stacked divisions in the league. We play the Chiefs, we play the Raiders, we play the Chargers, we play the Broncos, we play all of them. And I just cannot wait to play all of them and just see how then this is going to be the real test for Trey Lance, if he is going to be a really good quarterback in this league. And if he is to start, this is just going to show it right here. This is one of the craziest seasons ever. It's no doubt that the upcoming season is going to be one of the craziest ever, and next season the road ends in Glendale, Arizona in Super Bowl 57. Tell me what you think next season is going to look like as I close off the video for today. I know this is a longer video, but I wanted to make it up for you guys for staying out for so long. I was gathering everything together for the NFL draft and kind of analyzing some things. I'll be going live on the second night of the draft, and I'll be going through every single pick and seeing how that just plays out for all the NFL teams. Thank you guys for coming to the video. I am so glad for you guys. I'm so happy that you guys are able to come. Like I said, go check out Chat Sports, the 49ers Report. Chase Sr. is such a good guy, and I know you guys will like him if you guys go check him out. And yes, thank you guys for coming to this video, and I will see you all in the next episode. See ya. Subscribe to the channel for cookies.